What is up, Sooner Nation? Welcome back to Sooner Surge Double Trouble coming at you January 2nd. Thunder just got a massive W against the Celtics. If you watch any of that game, wow, the Thunder are legit and going to have a chance at maybe a natty, a championship ring this year. But big news in the portal, Jay. Really outside of the portal, though, Woody Washington stays. And I mean, I'm not going to say I told you so, but about the last 3 weeks, I've said that I'm pretty sure Woody was going to stay. I think that the Billy Bowman, Stutzman, honestly, Jay, here's what I think. And first off, I want to thank all you guys for being on here, guys and gals, getting on the Sooner Surge Double Trouble. We'll be rolling your comments. Hunter's with us, dropping your comments in the chat. But, Jay, I think BV probably realized, hey, let's get this. Even if we have to pay, right? Even if we have to pay, we want experience combined with the inexperience of this great class coming in. And Jay, they have every single person back on defense except for Bothroyd and Key Lawrence. I mean, come on.
Yeah, this is huge for consistency, for stability of the defense. Love what Bobby Wiley said. It sounds great. But it sounds weird saying it, but the defense should be one of the top defenses in the SEC next year with all the experience. And experience can only take you so far. I will say that. But one thing about Woody, and I think Woody's got to, if you look at what maybe an area where he thinks he maybe can get better, I think it would be maybe game-changing plays. He's very consistent on lockdown coverage, but as far as making an interceptions, I mean, did he have any this year? I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
No, he's a consistent corner and one that started for 4 years. This is 5th year. Tanya Shipman.
Thank you so much.
Max, hey, your super matches my puffer vest. Tanya, thanks so much as always.
Appreciate you, Tanya.
We really appreciate it. Good evening to you as well. Hey,
what's up, Mars? Hey, let me say something real quick on the Woody thing. I think what you're seeing is BV's culture coming to fruition. He's always talked about guys are better in their 5th or 6th year when they're seniors, and you're seeing guys stick it out through 5-6 years now. And I think that's what the culture that Brent Venables wants. He wants to have guys that stick around, and obviously, NIL probably has a part of it. But I think it's great to pay the guys that have been through it, and instead of just the guys that come in as freshmen. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. And we'll get to that in a second. As you can see in the bottom right corner of this screen, Sooner fan. Congratulations, everyone. Shout out Sooner fan. Congrats for being the December trivia Sooner Surge winner. Congrats, Sooner fan. And Blake Horton. First off, Woody Washington has never been 3rd string, so he started for 4 years. And I really think the only concern on offense, the absolute only concern, is going to be the offensive line. But if Fabechi is as good as maybe advertised, and you're seeing what these young guys are doing at the Under Armour camp, I do think that there is a great chance that going in, this is as good as they could be going the SEC across the board. Now, obviously, maybe if Levy, if they had the continuity of that, but otherwise, I mean, I think this is exactly what BV wanted.
Yeah, and Mess says, I mean, there are some things like Mess says that Woody can work on and get better at. He's been really good the last 2 years because you think about he's not getting beat a ton. I mean, he gets beat there every once in a while, but what cornerback does not get beat? I mean, that's part of that position. You're going to get beat sometimes, obviously. But I would love for him this next year, kind of what Gentry did this year with the interception, some big tackles for losses, stuff like that. I think you could see maybe Woody get more on that side, on that part of it. But this is huge news for Oklahoma. I mean, it's massive. And let's not forget some of the other portal things that happened. Obviously, you had the cornerback commit. Now, it's a PWO, not a scholarship. We did a video on him earlier out of Utah. But he had a scholarship at Utah, and he decided to come to Oklahoma for a PWO. That gives you more depth in that position. I mean, that's what that does.
Yeah, and Bobby brings up Lance Hurd. Look, he was a 5-star. He's a top 15 guy when he went to LSU. I've heard some rumors on Ole Miss. I'm not sure if OU's going to offer him or why. I know Bobby says here, dead set on left tackle. we'll see. But I am super excited with the young guys, and I like Spencer Brown and Fabechi, the two guys they brought in from the portal. So really, they got probably 8 guys. Now, I know Eugene Brooks. Mez says Eugene Brooks will start. I think Eugene Brooks is going to have a chance to play and play really early. Starting right off the bat, we'll see. But Blake, a place filler for him since he's undergoing massive surgery.
It's not massive surgery.
I mean, any surgery is, I guess, a risk. But, yeah, I think it's pretty common surgery. Am I wrong on that? Look, they have depth in the cornerback room. They've got some depth. They brought 2 guys in out of the portal, Jay.
Yeah. What about Scourton, Jeremy? Mr. E says here. I agree. Scourton, he was in the video we talked about earlier. To me, if you end up getting him to close out the portal class, it's massive. And he is right now the best defensive player in the portal that's still left. Am I missing anybody?
No, I mean, he's the best guy in there right now. Now, some other guys have hit the portal. Obviously, David Hicks is not hitting the portal. I'm sure you guys saw that. And cornerback is not a problem right now, the depth. Someone said the San Diego State guy will start. I know Chuck asking me who I think may hit the portal from the secondary. You know, I would have thought Kenai Walker might maybe use his second transfer, but he played quite a bit, and he was pretty good at the end of the season, had a good bowl game. But I don't know if there's going to be a secondary guy hit the portal.
Yeah, Jeremy, where are you? I was wondering the same thing. Mark says, where are you right now?
This is my 14-year-old son's room. It's not out there where it's a little chilly. It's a little chilly tonight. He's staying all night at a friend's house. So I'm in here with this Kobe poster. It's no dorm room, but he'd probably take that as a compliment, Mark.
I'm in the
Blake Smith hit the portal. And there's the Jake Roberts guy, the tight end from Baylor, who was also at North Texas under Seth Littrell. He's the brother of Nate Roberts, the 2025 stud tight end. So, yeah. Crystal, thanks for being on here as always. Our defense really slowed down when Gentry got back.
I agree with what Crystal said. I mean,
I'm worried about him, Jay. He doesn't seem like he's a guy that can stay healthy.
I mean, it could be coincidence. I mean, we'll see this year. I think if it happens again this year, you got to say that.
I'm thinking of 3 guys right now in the cornerback room. I'll say 4 guys that we haven't even mentioned because they haven't played. But Jacoby Johnson, Hunter just mentioned, Josiah Wagner, Jaden Rowe, and Makari Vickers. We need to stop saying there's problems in the quarterback room. It's pretty loaded, guys.
Oh, I think there's a lot of depth in the cornerback room. Who said it's a bad room?
Well, I mean, someone earlier asked if worried about the depth, I thought.
And, hey, Chuck, are you talking about – let's see here from Jason. Oh, you will not land an elite defense to ever via portal. Just be realistic. Land Jag and hope to develop Hicks isn't bright, not leaving. But loads of cash there. Yeah, and I think that kind of hints there what we've talked about with the culture and with what Brent Venables. I don't think they're going to just drop money bags for defensive tackles. Maybe I'm wrong.
Now I know Nic Scourton is a defensive lineman. He's an edge, but he would be considered a defensive lineman.
Yeah. Hey, right now with the portal getting ready to close, what would you consider? Okay, so I'm going to throw a scenario. They land Scourton. OU lands Scourton. Say OU lands him and Jake Roberts, tight end. Would that be, you think that, what would that raise their grade in the portal to be? And also, do you still think they need another offensive lineman out of the portal?
I would take one more. Here's what I would say. I would love to get a JUCO offensive lineman maybe. And Chuck, I wasn't saying it was you that was saying there was something wrong. I thought I read it earlier. Jay, I would rate it a B probably. And I know Mez is talking about Scourton kind of like a Bothroyd. I would agree with that, except he's a lot better than Bothroyd was when he came from Wake Forest. This guy was the Big Ten sack leader. I know Bothroyd was as well. Size-wise, they're pretty comparable.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the Scourton guy, though, would come in right away and be your guy, kind of like Bothroyd did. He came in to be the starter.
I think he's better than Bothroyd.
Hey, somebody said it earlier on here. I don't remember. I don't know if we put the comment up, but Does all these defensive players coming back, does that just tell you that they know what's coming in defensively and they're just pumped to play with it?
I think it does, Jay. I think it does.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think about the Kansas kid from DeSoto? I would love one more O lineman.
I would too. I think another O lineman would be great. And if you could get Scourton, another O lineman, and Jake Roberts, listen, I was fine with them getting Jake Roberts with Blake Smith there. Now that Blake Smith has portaled, I think you need to go get Jake Roberts. I think you need him. I think you need another tight end.
Someone mentioned Helms earlier, and I would love for Helms to be.
Helms is going to be good if he's healthy. That's the question.
Yeah, but I mean, so now if Helms is healthy, you got Mitchell, Sharp, Helms, and if Jake Roberts commits, that's 4 really pretty good ones.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. The back 7 is jacked about the class coming in. And the linebackers, I mean, it makes the job so much easier when you got dudes up front. And I think this class coming in, and just from what I've seen from David Stone alone, let me just say this about David Stone. I'm not the guy that's going to sit there and follow his whole recruitment day by day and everything about him, okay? He has surprised me in this Under Armour just because I didn't know. I mean, this dude's a hard worker, dude. I mean, he's up there 3 a.m. lifting, but this guy's different, period. No question that the guy's going to be a different player. He's going to be that dude as Red Eye Jedi. He's going to be that dude. And I knew the guy was a stud. Don't get me wrong. I knew he was a stud. I knew OU had a landing. That's not what I'm saying. His work ethic's different. Him, Daniel Kumi, some of these guys, Eugene Brooks, Danny Okoye. This class coming in it's going to be the real deal, guys. I'm pumped for it.
Yeah, and look, I know Jackson mentioned Caden Woolard from Miami of Ohio. Look, OU offered him. I would have thought he would have committed by now. So I'm look, they're going to want Scourton over him for sure. I mean, that guy's an edge as well, but he's nothing like Scourton in my opinion.
It's like look, night and day, Jeremy. Night and day.
Night and day. And here's the other thing. As Topher B says, thanks for being on. Here's the other thing. OU is the last visit of Scourton. So, like you say, what are the other squads going to throw at him? Sometimes people would say, oh, it's great to be last. And then I hear other people saying, no, it's not going to be last in this situation. Well, whatever. The point is, OU should at least get an opportunity to present their package. Okay?
Here's the deal, though. I do think getting the last visit in the portal is different than a high school. Somebody said it, commented on our video earlier, and I agree with them. I think in high school you get the last visit, it means a little bit more than portal, because if he goes into that second visit and they offered whatever, he could just be like, done. I mean, so I think it's a little different, but it's still, if you can get into that last visit, I think it's huge.
There's 405 boy says this team will be better than what people think. Look, I do think.
What do you think is what people think? What would you?
I think there's a lot of people who think OU might struggle the first year in the SEC. I'm still going to say that the ceiling is going to be like a 10-2, and the floor is going to be a 7-5 at the absolute worst. Would be in my opinion, 7-5 would be a debacle. But listen, I think the reason that I agree with 405 boy here is because this team next year should be a little different in the fact that they have so much experience, right? So much experience. And you combine it with their best class that they've had. Like that's a recipe for success and the continuity. The only thing that's going to be not as far as continuity and consistency is the offensive play calling and type of offensive scheme you're going to be running.
Yeah, and I like there. Jason says he just accepted the fact that elite guys don't come to OU. They don't buy culture. They transfer for cash. Just have to believe Bates and Chavis can develop, and if they can't, we're screwed. I mean,
yeah,
that's why you got Bates and Chavis hopefully to develop, and I mean that's what you got to kind of base this on. Let me go.
That's right, Mark. It's really a 3-game. Now look, Mark, here's the problem with that comment. And I agree with you, Mark. I know Hunter said he agrees. The problem is OU can't lose the teams they shouldn't lose to. That's going to be the problem. You can't have any of that anymore. You can't have slip-ups in the SEC. Absolutely not.
Yeah, it'll eat your lunch if you do.
Rob Gregg said Woolard's in Norman tomorrow. And listen, if he's on the visit tomorrow, I don't understand why he wouldn't commit to OU. But then you may bring in Scourton too. Then I mean, I don't think getting Woolard has anything to do with Scourton.
I agree. You would get both. You could take both of them. It's not.
And Jay, do you know what JAG means?
Hey, Topher.
Jay, do you know what JAG means?
Yeah, I would think it means just a guy, Jeremy.
Just another guy is what I think.
Just like you are, just another guy.
I was just testing our
just like you're just another guy as always. Hey, Topher, I agree with this. Oh, you have the cash to go after guys if they want to go into a bidding war. It's just not for every portal player. And like I've said before, OU's going to be very, very selective if they're dropping a bunch of money. And I'm going to say this again. Danny Stutzman, Billy Bowman, and Woody Washington. Kudos to those guys for coming back. I think too often the guys that come back year after year and play a whole career at one school aren't talked about as much as the guys that transfer 3 times or whatever. It needs to be talked about. These guys stuck it through. Billy Bowman and Danny Stutzman stuck it through after Lincoln Riley left, and Woody Washington, all of them. After Lincoln Riley left, they stuck it another 2 to 3 years. I mean, that's kudos to those guys, period.
Hey, Red Eye. I agree, Jay. Red Eye. I think that's what's happening. People are like, why aren't OU getting a lot of guys in the portal and throwing money out? I think BB and staff and maybe even whoever's playing the NIL stuff said, let's pay the guys that we need back because Woody Washington's better than a portal guy you could have gotten. So is Stutzman and Bowman. And I think they said, let's rock with experience. We've seen this in NCAA basketball. We've seen older teams have a lot of success. Maybe not as much in football, but I think that's the recipe they're going here for success.
Hey, Copenhagen, this is a great comment, and I would love to spend some time on this. Are y'all worried that college football becomes too much about money and the way BV is building this isn't effective? Jeremy, what are your thoughts?
Am I worried it's becoming too much about money? Yes. Am I worried that the way BV is building it isn't effective? No, and I'm going to tell you why. Ann Arbor, Michigan.
What about it?
Jim Harbaugh and his culture and the way they just play together, they are not elite 5-star all over the board. They have a solid offensive line.
They got some great players, man.
Not compared to the Alabamas of the world as far as recruiting, Jay. It's not.
I agree with that.
Listen, just a second. That team that's playing for the national championship this year, they have experience all over the board, and they're really close together, and they seem to have really good culture. I think that can be the other recipe of success.
Yeah, I do think – I think what is going to happen is you're going to have teams like Ole Miss this year who are paying a bunch and getting players that might have one really good year, but I don't think it's sustainable to just throw cash at players. You're going to
tell me when it's been successful.
Well, Georgia and Alabama.
Yeah, but Georgia's
before NIL. Before NIL.
Before NIL, they're throwing money at him. What do you mean?
Come on.
Kirby Smart's culture is legit too. And we know they're like.
Are you really don't think they were paying before?
Oh, I'm sure they were, Jay, but
okay,
not like it is nowadays. Not even close.
And Jay says that culture is still a factor for championship runs. Always will be. Always will be.
Hey,
that's why I also think that he's going after some of these Oklahoma kids. I think that means a lot too. I think playing for your own state means something too.
And like Coconut Greg says, and Purple Orca, I saw your comment about Colorado. You're absolutely right. Coconut Greg, I love this because BV is doing it his way and getting the guys that they want in there. And look, BV comes from Bob Stoops' tree. He comes from Bill Snyder. He comes from Dabo Sweeney. And all those guys are a lot about more culture than, one guy's bigger than the team. And so I think it's natural that that's how he coaches.
I agree. And Copenhagen, I love your point there too. You're getting some good points and good comments. And here's what I'll say about parents. You're going to have parents that go just for the money, and they want their kid to just have the money, a.k.a. Caden Green probably. You're also going to have parents that want their kids to go to college and become a really developed individual that when they graduate, they can have a career outside of football. You're going to have parents that push their kids to OU for for the sole mission, like you mentioned. You're also going to have parents that put their kids not to OU because of something else. So I think you're kind of going to get a mixture of both, no matter what NIL does, no matter what college football does.
Hey, Dabo's had a couple down years, no question. But look, he did lose his defensive coordinator, and their quarterback isn't as good as they thought he was going to be.
But you know what bothered me about Dabo? Maybe I'm wrong. Did I see a meme where he was like laying on the turf almost in tears after they won the bowl game?
I know what you're saying, but hey,
he's not that far removed from Natty's. That should be his. Hey,
Sooner fan says I want the best players regardless of where they come from. But I don't know if you mean where they come from. But what I think you mean is regardless of. Actually, I don't know what you mean, Sooner fan. What you mean by that? But I want the best players, but I don't want them at the cost of costing culture and sacrificing culture. And you can do that with certain guys. You can do that.
Yeah, Ron, it's weird. The Arkansas fans, I don't feel a whole lot of hate towards OU in Arkansas. And
okay.
What?
I was looking at Sooner fans' comments.
I feel hate towards they hate Texas, but at OU, it hasn't been that bad since I moved here. So
hey, I agree with.
We'll see once they start playing it.
Sooner fan, I agree. I think people sometimes talk too much about, you got to get the in-state guys. Not if they're not the best guys. Like go get the best guys. That's what you're meaning. I agree with you.
Let's get back to this Woody Watt and this experience thing. Yeah, but experience doesn't always mean good. I can name players who have come back before and they were like, you don't want them to come back. But this is different. This is Woody, Billy, and Danny who were cores to this defense this year. And I would say all of them had good years. Some of them had great years. But I just think that him coming back is so solidifies that defense. We've named now with John Terry too. We haven't really talked about him, but it's just huge for them.
This is not a David Agwebu coming back.
Correct.
Now, I would say if Trace Ford announces he's coming back, which I'm guessing he's going to, I'm not super excited about that.
He'll be back.
I'm not. And look, Farouk hasn't entered the portal yet. I'm shocked.
I don't think he had any.
I am absolutely shocked Jalil Farouk is not in the portal right now.
He has, Jeremy. Listen, the portal closes tonight at midnight. Which means,
maybe it's going to happen when we're on the
live.
Which
means that this is what this means. It closes tonight at midnight. This means tomorrow and Thursday you're going to see a bunch of players in the portal because this is the last time to enter. And so you're probably going to be a lot entered today, and they're going to come out 24 to 48 hours later, and you'll see them pop. And I would think you're going to see quite a bit in there in the next 2 days.
Adam, that may be the best line of the night, but there it is. Yeah. That's it. Jay, it's time for trivia. Sooner fan was the December trivia winner. Congrats, Sooner fan.
Before we get to trivia, though, what movie is this best from, man?
Is that trivia?
No. I'm just saying.
I know what it is. I know what you're trying to do.
What movie is this best from?
I think everyone's done with Farouk right now.
It's similar. There it is. Sooner fan already got it. Or Jason Murphy.
First trivia question, Jay. I'm going to go with the Back to the Future one.
All right. Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
The
How
first
many
one.
were there? 3?
I know of 3 for sure. This is not a life jacket. It's a puffer vest, bro. Learn it. Back to the Future question. What was on the license plate of the vehicle?
Oh, trivia question. There it is. What was on the license plate of the vehicle right now in the chat?
Type in the chat what the license plate said. Someone will know this because you're movie buffs. First trivia of the new year. Who's going to roll with it?
Is Sooner fan going to continue his streak?
There it is. It's Jay Jones out of time because we are almost out of time with the portal. I thought that was apropos. There you go.
Out of time.
Jay Jones will be in the lead tomorrow. 1-0 or maybe 1-1 if we have a second one, Jay. Jay Jones starting the new year 2024 with a bang.
Bang. Strong. Hey, Brian Bald Eagle, I hope you're right. Got to land Scourton. In my opinion, we talked earlier this year about just a couple weeks ago about McClellan really needed a landing. Well, Scourton, you really need a land. This is the guy.
Look, you want me to reverse this? Is Scourton going to be a Tiger?
Hey.
I hope not. I hope he's not a Tiger.
Hey, is Michael J. Fox?
Jay, how can they keep going to Missouri? They're all can't play there.
Hey, from what I've seen from Williams area on the Under Armour camp.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that last night.
Oh, did you? I missed it.
Not looking great. Not looking great. This is kind of a Missouri color. I don't know about the gray though.
Hey, I say on Scourton, I don't think he's going to be a Florida State Seminole. And here's why. I think he wants to go to the SEC. I mean, are you going to leave the Big Ten and go to the ACC?
Here's the problem with Florida State, though, Jay. They're in the ACC. The winner of that conference is going to the the playoff every year. So
okay, but you could get 5 from the SEC or Big Ten in there.
Right, but the ACC is not very strong, and Florida State's known to pump out edge guys to the NFL. I think that's another big play. Where is Scourton originally from? And they are going to give him the Jared Verse thing. Hey, but Jay, let me ask you this: when a guy sets up a guy on the portal setting up his visits, right? This guy's got 4. Is there, mindset of how you're setting those up? A reason you put 1 first and 1 last? Is it all geographical? Like, it just makes me think on some of those things. I hope OU gets a shot. I think Miguel Chavis and BV can sell. I think they can do really well. What he's going to do is he's going to go there and see it's a little bit different there with the soul mission and other things. And a lot of times that helps. It doesn't always help, though. Doesn't always help.
And Topher, this is why I'm feeling like it might be A&M.
Yeah, that worries me some.
Yeah. But he would be great for OU to get down this portal, man. Appreciate it.
Brian. Appreciate you. Yeah, Happy New Year. I'm glad you caught it live. And listen, we do this every night at 9:30. If you're subscribed, you probably get a notification. I don't know how that works, but we also have a Sooner Surge unlimited option. It's a $4.99 a month. You can click that, and you should be updated every time we're on. But
hey,
thanks for being on here, Brian.
Hey, Billy. They will have to throw money. I think that's obvious. They're going to have to throw money at him. I mean, I don't like the term throw money, though. I think throw money at somebody, it's like you're trying to bribe them with money. I mean, to me, it should be
that's part of it, Jay.
No, you have an NIL package. It's not. I don't think you're not just like. I mean, I don't know.
Hey, we have not updated on Dad, so I'm glad you asked, Ron. Our dad did get moved from St. John's Hospital to a rehab facility today. He should be at the rehab facility for probably 20 days, trying to get his swallowing back and strength and moving and things like that. But appreciate you asking. Appreciate your prayers still as he's recovering from the stroke.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a great one, Brian. And I want to get to Hunter. Maybe you can drop in the chat some of the 2025. I know Jackson as well follows that 2025 class. Big O-line guys, if someone can drop that in the chat. I want to get to Brian here. Will Barnes break the lineup? I would like to say that he would, but here's the deal that people no one's talking about. Samuel Franklin's coming in. That's something to consider. He's going to have a role. They are probably going to have 2 backs.
You also have a Tatum. I mean, and I want to go to Mark's comment. Hey,
they both say Michael Fasusi is the guy. Yeah. And Chuck, Hunter runs the chat and does a great job. He is on here every now and then, and we'll try to have people on, but it's hard with 3 or 4 on here. So
he's in a lot of the videos. Hey, Mark, this is a great comment. Problem is Oklahoma is using NIL like it's supposed to be. Other universities are using it as a pay-to-play. It was never intended to be, I'm going to pay you this much to come to my school. It's supposed to be used as name, image, likeness, how well you're doing. And
you sound like Nick Saban.
What?
You sound like Nick Saban. That's exactly what he said.
Oh, really? When?
He said NIL is name, image, likeness, but now it's really pay for play. You play, you get paid.
Yeah, that's what it's turned into. It's only going to get worse, is it not? Here's what has to happen.
EPL
is 2020. You need to get a guy. Go ahead.
I was just going to say EPL is 2024 class. He is a
stud. He's in here. He's
Go
coming.
Ahead, Jay.
What I was going to say is The only way to fix this is to hire a guy like Joe Castiglione to be a commissioner of the NCAA. I'm not saying Joe Castiglione's per se. I'm just saying you got to have somebody who's the commissioner of college football. And they got to run it like that. You can't run it the way they're doing it right now. It's got to be changed. They got to look at it as more like a NFL, but college. And they need to run it like an NFL, where you have a commissioner and everything is gone through that. I mean, you can't do it this way forever. It's going to have to change.
I agree. And
Jackson says Andrew Babaloa is the name to watch.
And you got Fasusi. So there's a few in that 2025 class, but the 2024 class, look, we haven't even mentioned a Sosa. There's some other guys that are going to be on that class that's doing really, really good. So that can be really, really good.
Yeah.
And it is a free-for-all now. And it's sad. It's sad, Adam, that it's a free-for-all the way the rules are. And Okie Lawn Guy, we absolutely talk basketball. OU's number 11. First Big 12 matchup this Saturday. LNC should be rocking. It's against the
And you got to win home games in Big 12, period.
Look, I expect OU to be about 2 or 3 games above 500 in the conference, which gets them probably a 3 or 4 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, but you got to do good in the Big 12 play.
They haven't played great the last 2 non-con games. I think they just kind of been sleepwalking through those, but it's a new season now. It's a new season.
The good thing is Jalen Moore's starting to play really well. So
if Jalen Moore can be like he was the other night, it's a game-changing on this team.
Yeah, Jackson, they have played well this year. What are you talking? Oh, lately. Okay. I was like, huh?
Yeah, haven't played well lately. I mean, that's right. And I think Adam earlier said that one Sooner from the O-line class is going to start next year. And I would probably agree. I think one of those freshmen plays.
Hey, let's get to Space. This is a good question. If y'all
Welcome,
could add
Space.
add one Sooner from the Lincoln Riley area to next year's team, who would it be? No quarterbacks. I'd probably go with Creed Orlando Brown.
That's a great question.
That's a great question. You know, I would probably go with. Well, man, they're so deep at receiver.
Now, let me say this.
I'd go with Joe Mixon
for next year's.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one too. But for next year's team, you'd have to take a lineman because of how bad the line's.
Yeah, that's true. If you're going off just
now, listen. If you're going off the team for this year, you know who I would have taken for this last year's team?
Hey.
Mark Andrews.
Yeah, they could have used him, couldn't they have?
Mark Andrews is who they needed this year.
Although Mark Andrews, they didn't use him like Levy used the tight. Levy likes to use guys to really block a lot. Andrews was okay. He was more of a catcher, man. That's what he was used for. Lincoln Riley's offense used tight ends way different than Levy.
Perrion Winfrey could have been a big guy too.
Yeah. That's a great Space. That's a great question, man.
That is a great question, Space. That may be the best one of the night so far. Jay, I do think that, Trey Millard isn't. Fred says Trey Millard, but Trey Millard.
How about a kicker?
Levy didn't use that. So that's the only thing. But I do think that who was the other guy mentioned that Jackson mentioned on the deep? Oh, he said Nick Benito. Yeah, I mean, Nick Benito, Perrion Winfrey, there are guys on that defense that, were pretty good. That, listen, only played about a third of the downs. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's wild.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Obo
Laronco.
I just think they were deep enough. They didn't, like now we're going Stoops era, Gerald McCoy.
Let's go back to the Switz era. My goodness.
Here we
Kenneth
go.
Murray deserves more credit. Look, Kenneth Murray was really good.
Yeah, he was really good. I think he got credit. I just think the problem is when you played in that defense with that bad of years that they had, he was a really good player, but just the defense, they were okay 1 or 2 years of his career, but it was not a great defense. You talk about guys like him, Ronnie Perkins, Nick Bate. A lot of those guys kind of get forgotten. I wouldn't say forgotten, but not talked about as much because the defense wasn't good as a whole. Ronnie
Perkins was really good, as Jackson said, criminally underrated. He was He was really, really good.
So was the golly Norwood at defensive back.
Oh yeah, Trey Norwood.
Trey Norwood.
Hey,
yeah.
We could talk past so much, but really this is about next year's team. And
hey, look at the tight end room now. You got
there's Chief T-Bird, Dimitri Flowers could do it all. That's right. What, Jay?
Tight end room right now. You got Devon Mitchell, who looks extremely good. Yes, very young. You got him, Sharp, the transfer. You got Caden Helms, and you got the ex-basketball player, Fanuel or whatever. So I think you need another one.
Well, I think they're going to get it in Jake Roberts.
I do too.
I don't think there's any chance they're not getting. I say it's 99.9% chance Jake Roberts is a Sooner tomorrow.
Agreed. You got the relationship with Seth Littrell already. So
yeah. So I mean, to me, that gives you 4, in my opinion, guys at the tight end room.
Dude, Jake the Snake. What? Hey, he was my favorite wrestler growing up.
I liked Andre the Giant.
Really?
What? Oh, Teddy Lehman was great. Yeah.
Andre the Giant?
Yes.
What did he do?
He was a wrestler.
What did he do on the wrestling? Jake Snake was an entertainer, dude.
Yeah, they all are, Jay.
Andre the Giant was not an entertainer at all.
Jason.
He was not.
Jay, it's fake.
No, it's not.
Hey, guess what,
Wrestling
guys?
is the real deal, man.
Jay, I'm 46 years old, right?
Yeah.
I was 46 years old when I found out yesterday that Pokemon is not a character.
What do you mean?
Pokemon's not a character on the show.
Explain yourself.
You didn't know this either.
I know what Pokemon is. Explain. Keep going.
Pokemon's not a character. I thought Pokemon was a character in the show.
What is Pokemon?
I don't even know, but it's not a character. Pikachu's a character, but Pokemon is not a character.
Pokemon is like the game.
Okay. Well, that's too much of that, but I don't have
I used to get freaked out by the people that would drive around. They pull up and they're looking for a Pokemon driving around the town. Is that still a thing?
I don't think so. Undertaker was a good one. Macho
Killer
Man
Bees. How about the Killer Bees?
Oh, yeah. That was tag team.
Yeah, tag team wrestling was the way to go.
Hey, Shelby, great question. It's either going to be Schmidt. I think Schmidt's going to get a great chance at it, or Liam Evans.
Probably, yeah.
Have the transfers signed. Samuel Franklin signed. All the ones we mentioned have signed. The ones we're talking about tonight have not signed. Jake Roberts hasn't signed. I expect him to, but
no.
Those other guys that are transferring in have to be enrolled second semester.
Hey, is the greatest wrestler of all time Hulk Hogan? Has to be.
Oh, 100%. I saw he got baptized the other day.
Has to be.
That was pretty
cool.
The
greatest wrestler of all
time. That
time.
was a pretty cool story. Best decision he's ever made.
You know who the close second would be?
Who?
Randy Savage, man.
Yeah, Macho Man. Chief T-Bird says the great Kabuki.
What was it? What was it Randy Savage always said?
Yes, something like that.
No, what was it? Somebody will know it on here.
Someone will know it. Hey, Chief T-Bird, not Chief T-Bird, someone, Infidel, said it's 10:09 and Texas still sucks.
That's right.
What about the end of that game?
Well, I was so happy I could almost cry.
They got to put a rule in where an injury can't affect you like that.
How about you don't run the ball on third down? Take a knee.
I agree, but that's a bad.
They almost blew that game. Washington almost blew it. And then they go into, and I hear everybody always talking about don't play prevent defense. But I'm sorry, in that situation, you got to play prevent defense. They were playing one-on-one coverage. I didn't understand it.
Jay,
they won. They won.
They're lucky they won. I mean, if Ewers makes a better on the last play of the game, the Texas guy had the Washington guy behind him. If he just throws that ball low, it's a touchdown or an interference.
Dude, mess. I saw that with Ethan Downs. I already loved Ethan Downs. Love him more now.
That was a statement right there. Can you imagine next year That game?
That game already with Danny Stutzman coming back, it's going to be unbelievable. Ric Flair's a good one. Ric Flair's close with Hulk Hogan. I agree.
Hey, I tell you one thing I'm excited about next year, Jay.
What's that?
I'm excited that you don't have to go undefeated to make a playoff. You can slip up a game. You can lose.
Go undefeated this year.
You know what I mean? You can lose 2 games and have a good chance at being in the
I don't
playoff.
want to talk about it with 5 minutes left, but they got about the 4 teams in it that probably should have been in it this year.
Do not start. No, Georgia should have been in it.
Well, they didn't win their conference. So
Georgia was better than Texas.
Yes, I agree, Infidel. They almost blew that game at the end. They almost
and I am about to lose it.
Why are you about to lose it?
And no one knows if Florida State would have done anything with their
Florida State would have lost by 40.
Shut up now. I'm not going to do this right now. I'm not going to do this. They deserved a chance with their 23 guys. Even Kirby Smart and everyone said, this has to be fixed.
Jeremy,
this has to be fixed.
How much did they lose by?
I'm not even, like the game didn't even count, you moron.
How much did they lose by?
In what? They didn't lose any game this year, Jay. They're undefeated.
They would have got beat by 20. They would have got beat by 20.
Shut up. Who's the 2 teams in the playoff, the championship?
It's Michigan and Washington.
How many losses do they have?
0.
Who else had 0 losses that should have had a shot at it?
Well, Florida State had 0.
Lori, sorry, I love you for being on here, but you cannot talk about the Georgia game when Florida State had 23 guys out. You're ridiculous.
I agree. You can't compare, but what I'm saying is if they were going into the playoffs with the backup quarterback, you can't put them in.
Jay, their defense was elite. No, shut up, Jay. You're wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I'm wrong.
Georgia,
I'm wrong. Always.
Georgia would have beat Texas.
Always wrong.
Would Georgia have beat Texas?
I don't know. I haven't played the game. Georgia didn't beat Alabama.
And thank you, Mark. They had a full roster. You can't talk about Florida State in the bowl game, idiots.
They picked the 4 best teams, man. Except Georgia. What can I say?
Oh, except Georgia. Yeah. That's funny.
Hey, Liberty. Hey, what do you think about the playoff going to 12 teams? Do you think one of those non-power 5 should get a bid? I don't.
No, I don't think they should next year either. They should have their own conference.
I agree. They should have their own.
Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
So much.
Appreciate it so much.
Mentioning the Alamo Bowl, I was impressed with how aggressively Seth Littrell attacked Levy. Levy would get conservative with the lead. Seth's going to be a killer once the offense is situated. Look, and here's the thing. He wasn't even calling his offense. I do like the aggressiveness. The one part I didn't like is they got down the red zone, ended up settling for a field goal when they ran the ball 3 straight times. I didn't like that possession, but outside of that, he let the gunslinger himself, Jackson Arnold, sling the ball around. I like that.
It does give you, it does feel good because it was his first start, Jackson Arnold, and they weren't hesitant at all. They were throwing her around the yard. So I think that bodes well for next year.
Yeah, and I don't think Penix is going to bode well Sooners to win against Michigan.
Who's winning the Natty?
I'm saying Michigan, but I will say Washington's O-line is highly underrated, so they won't get as much pressure on Penix.
Here's the thing. I'm going to pick Washington. My only concern is, can they stop Blake Corn? Because they struggle against the run sometimes. But I'll pick Washington.
Okay,
long guy.
I'm back to work tomorrow as well. School starts for us.
I
School's
went back today.
Do what?
I went back today.
I know you did. Hey, Washington wins Natty, and we'll do a lot of stuff leading up to that game. But what we got this week is really, Jay, tomorrow. I expect a lot of things happening in the portal in the next 48 hours.
The next 2 days are going to be busy.
Next 2 days are going to be rocking and rolling. I expect Nate Roberts to be Nate.
Hey, Nate would be great too.
I expect Jake to be a Sooner tomorrow. Chief T-Bird here. Thanks, Chief T-Bird, Sooner Surge Unlimited member.
Kamala, the Ugandan giant. I'm going to have to look that up.
He's by 10. Man, Kamala, the Ugandan giant sounds like a great O-line prospect for OU.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, and I hope
Jeremy,
I see
let's
Farouk as well.
Jeremy, are we going to see his name in the portal tomorrow or Thursday?
We're going to see it. We're going to see it probably midnight tonight. Midnight tonight, we're going to see it.
Oh, other people are saying Kamala as well. I have to look up Kamala. I've never heard of him.
Jay, let's look him up. Let's make a statement about it tomorrow night. Hey, listen up, everybody. Chief T-Bird, big thanks to you, Chief T-Bird. Big thanks to Crystal.
Yeah.
Big thanks to Tanya. Dropping the
appreciate
super
y'all as always.
Thanks so much. The wide receiver, Billy, is Deion Burks.
Deion Burks.
Special.
Hopefully he can pull in Scourton. That'd be huge.
Yeah. Lots to happen. Make sure you check out our channel. We have videos dropping as the portal gets updated. We'll always be on our live talking with you because we love it. Is Farouk in the portal tomorrow morning? I'm saying yes. Jason?
No.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. All right, guys, gals. Till next time. Appreciate it. Boomer.
Sooner.